Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Well, here we are again. You as a whole, body, mind, and soul on USA Global TV and Radio. Welcome. My name is Justin MIRIGLIANI. And first of all, the first thing I want to say is thank you. Because last week, the first part of March, from March 6th to March 8th, we had the number 2 ranked show and the number 4 ranked show. So we had 2 in the top 10, numbers 2 and 4. And that's because of you. That's not me. That's you. Because if you're not there, I don't get ranked that high. So thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. I hope you keep listening. I hope you keep joining. And we're going to keep having some great topics and try to build on it. We'll just try to build on it every week. So one of the things I want to talk about, is there a such thing as being too nice? And it's something that I've wrestled with myself over the years. And I still do at 50 years old, still wrestle with this idea of when is nice too nice? When do you finally say, hold on a second, it's too much. My charity, I talk about it a lot on here. I don't take a penny from it. I do a lot of work for it, but I don't take any money whatsoever. And when I say not a penny, I really mean not a penny. If anything, I lose personal income from it. I put money into it. I don't put thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars because I'm not wealthy, and I have kids that I have to put through college, and it's something that I just don't have the funding to do. But if I did, I would just do it for free. I would pour $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 into it every year myself and just do everything. But I do need people to buy tickets. I do need people to play and pay to play. And some might say, well, will you ever take a salary from that? Is that something that you would ever take a salary from? And the nice part of me says, no, I won't take a salary from it. And another part of me says, eventually, if it makes hundreds of thousands, if it grows and makes 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 a year, would it then be appropriate for my time to take some salary? And a lot of people say, of course. They'll say, maybe you take 10%, you take a small percentage. And there's part of me that says, yeah, I'm doing the work. I mean, any CEO of any charity gets paid if that's their job. Right now, that's not my job, so I don't feel I deserve to get paid. But, would I feel guilty if we made, let's say, 300,000 and I took 30,000 as my salary? Probably. Should I feel guilty about it? Probably not. But that's what I mean by wrestling with is when is nice too nice. I do things for people for free. There's somebody that I trained, and he was a great guy, and we were talking about life in general. And I think I mentioned this on another show, but we were talking about life in general and how things, could be better. Not everything is going great in life for me, and now I'm feeling pretty good. But I told him there's some tough days. There are days where you're worried about the being in the middle of a divorce and being almost at the end, but still there, and also putting a child through college, knowing that there's another child coming behind who's going to be going through college, wanting to make enough money to do that, wanting to have money so that they have what they need, cars when they need cars and things like that. And we were talking about that, and he said, "Look, you're a father, and that's what fathers do. They worry about that stuff." And um, he was nice to me. He said, "Listen," he said, "I know you're struggling a little bit here with your mind. This is going back a month now." And I said, "Yeah." I said, you're not supposed to admit it. I mean, there's this. I listen to these podcasts about how it's unattractive to have vulnerability. You always have to be confident. You always have to practice what you preach. Well, let you in on a little secret. Nobody does. And I talked to a few people this weekend, and almost everyone to a person said the same thing. They tell people what things they should be doing, but we don't always follow what we say, and you can't. And my therapist, who I've been with since 1997, Dr. Andrew Borson, great doctor, he said that even he has times when he's depressed. He's a psychologist. He said, yeah, he's got anxiety at times. Yeah, he's got depression at times. So I think we have to get out of this mindset of, in order for you to be great at what you do and be smart enough at what you do, you have to be able to follow your own rules 100% of the time. Well, guess what? You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And you're going to have to live with it. And that's the way it is. So, I've been beating myself up over the years about, well, I feel depressed about this. And I tell people you gotta be positive. And I try to project positivity. And then I'm not positive on my own all the time. Well, you know what? I can't be positive all the time. I had sciatica over the last couple weeks, months actually. I got rear-ended last week and the car's damaged. Had to take care of that. I had my identity stolen last week, and they charged $5,000 to their credit card that they put in my name. My credit score dropped. I had to be on the phone to try to stop that. Is it easy to be positive? No. I want to put my fist through a wall, but it's like one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. So what I'm saying to you is, give yourself some grace. One of the people that I talked to today, I talked to her about that. I said, you just give yourself grace. Don't, yeah, all right. I know what you teach, and I know what you tell people, and I know what you try to project, but it's okay to not always feel that way. You can't, because you're human. Would you go to a cardiologist who has a heart condition? I would. So, I mean, what's the difference? Would you go to a nephrologist who has kidney disease? Yeah. I mean, it just because they suffer with something similar to you, and they tell you the things to do to try to avoid it, doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means that they couldn't do it, or they were unable to. So if a psychologist says to you, you try to stay positive and you think of the positive things, sure, they're giving you the good advice, but that doesn't mean that they're following their advice 100% of the time. But anyway, this gentleman and I were talking, and he said, "Look, you seem like you're struggling a little bit." I said, "Yeah, I'm a little down. I'm fighting it." And he said, "You would never know it." He said, "In the class, you're just so upbeat and so ready to go, and you put people at ease." And he said, "I want to do you a favor. I want to give you Sixers tickets." So he gave me Sixers tickets. He transferred them off the phone. I mean, obviously today's a different world. You don't even have to hand people tickets. You just transfer them to the phone. So he gives me Sixers tickets. He said, "I want you to enjoy you tonight." So I did. I went out, and I couldn't find anybody to go with me. I wanted to. I called probably like 15 people to try to get them to somebody to take the ticket, but couldn't do it. So I went myself, and I watched the game. I enjoyed it, and it was a fun game. And I felt good about that. And I felt good about him doing that for me. So I said to him, "Listen," I said, "probably not supposed to do this, but I will train you anytime you want." I said, "And I'm not gonna, you don't have to pay me a dime. I'll train you because you did something out of the goodness of your heart that you didn't have to do. You did something that you could have just not even thought of, but you thought enough of me to do it." And he was very appreciative. And not knowing, he is good friends with the San Francisco 49ers organization, very, very close with the 49ers. And he's very close with the alumni of the 49ers from the 80s, 88 to 90. I know I told this story last week, but it's worth repeating because, again, it shows goodness. So because I'm doing the training for him for free, he calls me up and he says, listen, he said, how would you like to go to a San Francisco 49ers game this year on us, on the 49ers? Because the 49ers actually sent him the games. And I said, oh my God. I said, you don't have to do that. And he said, I want to do that. And um, I'm going to take him up on it. I'm going to go to San Francisco and I'm going to watch a 49ers game. And even though I'm not a 49ers fan, I will be that day. And I'm going to meet some of the alumni like Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. And I've seen videos of him actually at their weddings. He's got them on his phone. So it's not like a phishing scam or some sort of a scam. It's true. I believe him, unless he's come up with some magic way to, an incredible um, uh, AI to get that done, which I know he did. Um, so yeah, I mean, my goodness and my openness led to his goodness, which led to me giving him more goodness, which led to him giving me more goodness. And who knows what's going to go on down the road? I mean, we might become great friends. I think we are great friends already, but who knows? If my business explodes, maybe I'd hire him and he would be make a ton of money. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. But, I'll remember that though. I'll remember him and I'll remember what he did for me. And I'm not going to forget that. I remember the people who called me the night that I had before I had surgery. I remember that. I remember every single phone call from every person who called me that night. And it wasn't that many. It was a few. But every one of those people, I remember them 100% that they made that phone call that night before surgery. And I didn't really feel like talking the night before surgery, to be honest with you. I was more in the mood of just kind of go to sleep and get the night over with. But if they made the effort to make the call, I wasn't going to stop them from talking to me. I was gonna give them the time. So I did. Um, now, have I been burned on being nice? Yeah, I have. I have been burned on being nice. I've gotten taken advantage of on. Well, I shouldn't say that. I, I had people try to take advantage of me on the internet. I've had men and women, mostly women, because it seems like they go after guys. They're attractive women who say, "Hey, I know you through a bunch of friends," and they might have friended like five of your friends, and would you mind being friends? And I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, if they got five other friends that are my friends, then I guess they're okay. And you know, they say nice things, and they talk about what great things you did with your charity, and what great shape you're in, and I can't believe you're 50 years old. Flattering things that anybody would be happy to hear, and again, I'm human. Anybody would like to hear that. And you're flattered, and you're like, all right, well, hopefully this person's on the up and up. So I run the test, and the test is I tell them that I'm straining to make money, and I do that on purpose because I want to see if they're going to say to me, "Would you like to get involved in crypto?" Or "I have this business that I'd like to talk to you about." The second that happens, I'm not friends with them anymore. It's over. It's done. So I don't get taken advantage of because I don't fall for it. I mean, it's not. I wrote to somebody. I can't remember who it was, but I wrote to somebody. Me see pretty face, me send money to that person. I mean, that's silly. That's silly. I'm not going to look at a girl because she's beautiful and write her a check for $10,000. That's not going to happen. And I don't care if she tells me I look 25. I'm not going to send her a check for $10,000. I'm not an idiot. Now, how did my ID get stolen? It wasn't my fault. It was actually a company had a leak. And in that leak, unfortunately, my identity was taken and they opened the credit card with a fake email address that I've never had in my life. Their email address was my name at gmail.com. Well, I don't have an email address, never have had an email address with my full name. Never, ever, ever. So I said, they don't even have the right email address. So they took care of that, and my credit rating took a little bit of a hit, and they're cleaning that up, you know. So, you know, people might say to me, you know, you're too nice of a guy, you're too trusting. I guess I'd rather be taken advantage of than revert and become somebody who's so cynical that I can't trust anybody. I have a choice to make. I can be really nice to a lot of people, and I can do nice things for them for nothing in return, nothing at all. And either A, they'll take it upon themselves to return it somehow, some way, or B, they won't. But what did I lose? Like the book The Giver, right? I mean, if you've ever read that book, you just give because you want to give. You know, and the other thing is, it was International Women's Day on was it Sunday? Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday. And I was watching a couple of things. I posted for International Women's Day on Facebook, and you know, it's important. I have two daughters, and you know, I have a mother. I had grandmothers, and you know, life hasn't always been fair to women, and I have girlfriends that life hasn't always been fair to, and I watched a lot of women's videos that day on my computer, and I was talking to a friend of mine. I had a long lunch with a real good buddy from high school, and we were talking about women, and me now getting back into the dating circle, and that type of thing, and one of the women that I saw in the video was talking about a red flag, or red flags, that the red flags that men give off. And one of them is, if he's too nice of a guy, then he's too good to be true. And that annoyed me. I got to be honest, that annoyed me, because I'm nice to guys and to girls, but that doesn't mean that I want to sleep with them. I mean, there's a whole different thing. It's frustrating to me that that's a red flag. So what do I need to do? Do I need to be a bit of a jerk in order to be not suspicious? I mean, is that what you got to do? Is that how it works? You know, if I'm looking to meet somebody, and I'm not really looking to meet somebody, but if I do and it clicks, then it clicks. But I don't, you know, it's kind of like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If I know a few women that are friends of mine that will talk about, you know, they really are into the bad boy, you know, the guy who's the bad boy, and he's, you know, a project, somebody that they have to work on to make better, and they could save him. And do you really want that? I mean, is that really what you want? Do you want to be with somebody that you have to work on, who's not going to think of you, who's not going to put your needs first, who's going to be egotistical, who's going to be potentially abusive, who's going to not be what a real partner should be? If you do, then keep doing it. Go after those guys. But I don't buy the whole thing that being nice is too nice. I really don't. I don't think there should be suspicion. I mean, look, if the person's sending you flowers and chocolates every day or every week or something like that, all right, that could be a little suspicious. But, you know, if they're not constantly calling you 24 hours a day, and texting you 24 hours a day, and they're just nice to you, they may just like you. I mean, that doesn't mean they romantically like you. They might not, but that doesn't mean that there's an ulterior motive. They just might, I don't know, want to help. Just like I want to help my guy friends too. I've helped a lot of people that I don't share it with everybody, because then, you know, you're taking credit for all the things that you do that are nice. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell you every nice thing that I do for everybody. And I'm not going to tell you that I'm nice all the time. I mean, sometimes I'm not the nicest guy in the world. Sometimes I do have an anger towards somebody or something, and I say things that I shouldn't say. And I don't do that professionally, but you know, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. Hey, Claire, Good to have you. Thank you for watching. Claire's a good friend and a Reiki practitioner. Very good. Um, she and I Claire and I had discussions about this, and it does worry me a little bit sometimes that people think that, oh, he's too good, he's too giving. There's got to be, where's the other shoe going to drop? When's the fake going to come out? When's the phony going to show his face? I am what you see. You're going to get what you get. These professional athletes that give me their phone number, I'm always struck by that, because I'm me. I'm not famous. I'm not anybody special. I'm a regular guy. And yet I talk to them and I look them in the eye and I tell them, what I liked about them. And I tell them, and I'm sincere and I'm genuine about it. I'm like, you really made me feel good as a kid. I watched you play and it brought me a lot of joy as a kid. And I want to thank you for that. I was 10 years old or 12 years old or 15 years old or whatever. And because of that, it brought me a lot of joy. And I thank you for that. And I want you to be a part of my charity. Would you come? And if you're comfortable, I always ask that. If you're comfortable, can I have your cell number or your email address? And 90% of the time they will do it because they know I'm genuine. So I think that's the most important thing, is that you have to be as genuine as possible. And if people are going to accept it, they're going to accept it. If they're not, they're not. But you can't change. You can't become something you're not. I'm not going to be a type of guy who's going to be a womanizer, or a type of guy who's going to take out 15 girls a month, or a guy who's going to uh, mistreat people. I'm just not going to do it, because I don't want to do it. I don't want people to say that, oh, that's him. I want people to say he's a good guy. Yeah, I mean, is that self-serving? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it's part of what I want to leave as a legacy. But if that's the worst thing that people could say about me, it's all right. I can take that. It is coming up on 22 minutes after, so I want to take the time for our commercial break, and we'll be right back after this.
Have you ever felt unheard? Like your words float into a void, leaving you invisible and disconnected? How about feeling judged, when assumptions overshadow your truth, leaving you misunderstood and defensive? And then there's that moment when someone offers solutions you never asked for, dismissing your feelings and leaving you more frustrated than before. It doesn't have to be this way. Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, the listening mentor, understands. She's here to help you reclaim your voice, build stronger connections, and create meaningful conversations that inspire understanding and mutual respect. Through her groundbreaking books, online and in-person courses, and interactive workshops, you'll learn how to navigate life's most challenging interactions. Discover the power of elevated listening and transform how you communicate. Master setting boundaries and asking permission to protect your peace. Learn to recognize and release judgment, fostering empathy and true connection. Dr. Kerbeck also offers personalized coaching, one-on-one or group sessions, designed to fit your unique needs. Whether in person or virtually on StreamYard, her guidance will empower you to thrive. You don't have to struggle alone. The path to deeper connections and better relationships start here. Visit drjacqueline.com or usaglobaltv.com. Join a global community of empowered listeners and transform your life, one meaningful conversation at a time. Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck is the listening mentor. Start your journey today.
All right, welcome back, everybody. One of the things that I think has been an issue, and I think worry people more today than well, it didn't exist before, was the internet. And it's yeah, the internet allows people to hide. It does. And I'm going to tell you about a situation that's going on right now on Instagram. Somebody connected with me on Instagram. She's from Michigan, and she saw my charity and she liked it. And she talked. We have been having conversations ever since, and talked about a lot of stuff. And some people are like, she's a fake. She's somebody. It's probably a guy from somewhere. And how do I know? How do I know? I mean, I can't tell you with 100% certainty whether I'm being taken for a fool or not. But she hasn't asked me for money. She hasn't asked me for anything. She asks how my day's going. I say, great. How's your day going? And it's a nice relationship. And she'll say things like, it's really, I enjoy getting a chance to talk to you. And we talk like every other day or so. Um, you know, uh, when she found out that my identity was stolen, she said, is there anything I can do to help? And I said, no. I said, I appreciate that, but there's really nothing. Only the police could help with that. I mean, there's really nothing you could do, but I appreciate the thought. But we've talked hockey and we've talked about a lot of different things in life. And she's a single woman who lives in Detroit, and she's hopeful that she'll find a relationship. And while I'm not looking for a relationship, if one happens to develop, that's fine. I mean, I wouldn't be against it. Um, so, people are saying to me, well, you know, why don't you talk to her on the phone? So I brought that up. I said, why don't we have a conversation on the phone and talk? I mean, the odds of us going out are probably pretty slim since she lives in Detroit. But she actually said she wanted to come and help with the charity. And she wants to come in August, and we'll talk more about the charity in a little bit. We'll talk about the game coming up in August. But she's been reluctant to call. So is that a red flag? I don't know. I don't know. Is that a red flag to me that she's not who she says she is? Is that a red flag, or maybe on her part, that she's afraid that I'm not who I say I am? And if she calls me, I would have her number, and then she would feel like she was possibly being duped. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no way of knowing. But I mean, are we going to live our lives in fear of all this? Or am I going to just cut this person off and say, you know what? It could be a good friendship. It could turn into a romance. It could turn into nothing. But am I going to be so cynical that she's too nice, that it's got to be a hoax? I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. And if it's a hoax, and if it's some guy that's doing this to play a joke, I mean, what did he accomplish? He's not going to get any money out of me. He's not going to get anything out of me. So it's not like I'm going to get hurt. I mean, it is what it is. But look, before the internet, when you would go to a bar in the 70s or 80s or even the 90s, you didn't know who you were meeting. When you took somebody's number, a stranger's number, you didn't know who they were. There was no internet, of course. But let's look at somebody like Ted Bundy. I mean, Ted Bundy was a nice looking guy who wore a crutch and I'm sorry, a cast, and had a crutch, and was the sympathetic figure who got women to come with him, and they went in his car, and most of them got killed because he was a serial killer. It happened then. It wasn't on the internet. It was live in person. So it's not all that much different. It feels different because, and maybe it is a little easier because you have the internet and you have the ability to hide a little bit. But did that stop women from going to bars? Did that stop men from going to bars and approaching women? I mean, obviously, men were safer. It was less likely that they were going to be the victim of a murderer. But even a guy could be a victim of murder. I mean, any girl could say, "Hey, I want to meet you, and let's go to this restaurant." And there could be 10 guys waiting there to jump me and beat me and take my money and everything else. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. But am I going to live my life in fear of that? No. And am I going to look at people who are very nice to me? I mean, this woman says very nice things. I mean, she's a very kind and seems like a sweet person, and has talked to me about personal things. And um, I want to believe that that's on the up and up. I don't want to believe that that's not true. And I hope that people see me for that. If I do something good for you, I hope you don't think it's that I'm trying to get something out of you, or that I'm trying to, you know, uh, whether it's date you or get money from you, or like that guy get a trip to San Francisco for free or whatever. I'm not. I'm not looking for that. I get it that people do that, and that angers me because that makes the rest of us have to live with the possibility of being judged by those who do wrong. I have a friend who I have a lot of girlfriends who tell me trust men, they're never going to date again. Or some of them say never again. Some of them say not for a long time. Many of them say never again. I mean, could you imagine the damage that men are doing to women if they never want to date again? Think about that. If they never ever in their life want to date again, what the hell are men doing out there? I've been out of the dating scene for 23 years. I'm not loving what I see as I'm coming back. So and I'm going to use a word that I probably shouldn't, but to the bastards who are doing these things, you're hurting everybody. You're not just hurting yourself. You're hurting a lot of people because we're guilty by X chromosome. And I told a friend of mine that. I said, Y chromosome. I'm sorry, Y chromosome. I said, a lot of men are guilty by Y chromosome, and that's understandable. Unfair, yeah. Understandable also, though. Two things can be true at the same time. We have a comment, so let's take the comment, see what that is. There's Joe. Hey, Joe. Always good to see you too. I think it's in your makeup. Being too nice or not, I don't think deep down you change, especially as you get older. Your show is top notch. Joe, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. And Joe says he hasn't dated in decades. And I don't know what Joe's feelings are on that. I don't know if it's something that he wants to do. Maybe he wants to be alone, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that that's bad. But if you're not dating because you're afraid, or if you're not dating because you've been hurt before, then heal and get back out there. And I'm not saying it's got to be with me. I'm saying with anybody. If you are saying that you're going to give up the chance to live your life and enjoy your life with someone else out of fear, is that really what you want to do with the rest of your life? Healing up, if it takes you a year or 2 years or 3 years or whatever, take it. But when I hear women say things like, I can't trust any men, even platonically. I've had women, I said to them, hey, you want to grab some pizza or whatever, you want to grab this or that. And they'll say, no, I'm sorry, I can't. I don't trust men. I'm like, really? I mean, like, you really think that pizza is some sort of a gateway to something else? I mean, it's pizza and just talking. That's it. Or in this case, the woman in Detroit, a phone call. Is a phone call a gateway to me buying her a ring? No, it's not. It's just what it is. I said to her, in all honesty, I'd like to hear your voice. I'd like to put a voice to your face. I'd like to hear what you have to say. I like what you talk about. I like when we talk hockey together. I enjoy it. I have a good time. And I would like to talk to you about it. She was asking me questions about some of the NHL players that I know. Now, what am I going to do? Am I going to write a 15 paragraph story on the phone? I can't do that. So I told her, I said, look, I'm not trying to dupe you out of getting your number. I'm just telling you, I can't tell you, a 30-minute story on Instagram and type it, because it would take me all day long to type all that, when I could just tell it to you in 30 minutes, and that's what I'm talking about. So am I frustrated by this? Yeah, I am. I am frustrated by it because I at the same time I get it, because there are idiots out there that do this stupidity that really get on my nerves. But let me tell you something. If you keep going to the junkyard, you're going to keep getting trash. So get out of the junkyard and go to places where you're going to find the right people. And it may not click with the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, but it might click with the sixth one. And you don't know. You don't know. You have to give it a chance when you are ready. Another comment from Joe. Let's get that. I don't like to see it. Okay. So Joe, 59. Never good enough. Not adventurous enough. Too nice. At this point, better off. I understand Joe's feelings. He is, and I know Joe. I've known Joe. He's been like a mentor to me. I mean, I grew up. He's older than me. He's 59. I'm 50. But we played hockey together, and he was like a big brother type guy, mentor. And I get it. I get it. He's a genuinely nice guy. He gives and gives and gives and gives. And I know, I'm sure that he's been in situations where women took and took and took and took. And that hurts. And that probably has not only hurt him, but angered him too, which I would be annoyed too. Anybody who uses you will annoy you. Nobody wants to be used. Everybody wants to be treated right. But Joe feels he's better off. If that's the case, I respect that. And if a woman says she feels better off being alone, I respect that. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But if it's because of fear and it's because you've met terrible people, that doesn't mean that everybody is. I mean, it's just like people who are racist or who are anti-Semitic or who have or any religion really, or I'm Italian who, oh, you can't trust Italians because they might be in the mob. I mean, do you really think every Italian person's in the mob? I mean, come on. Are there good people in every religion, every race, every nationality? Yeah. Are there bad people in every religion, every race, every nationality? Yes. Of course there are. They're bad people and good people. And sometimes you could get burned. Put ice on it. You'll get better. You're not gonna be burnt forever. It'll hurt. I've been hurt. Other people have been hurt. Everybody's been hurt for the most part. It's like that song The Rose, right? Anybody ever listen to the song The Rose by Bette Midler? You know, the soul afraid of dying will never learn to live. That's important. The heart afraid of breaking will never, I think it's never learn to give. I mean, those are important things. I'm going to put that on Facebook. That's a really profound song. Joe, another comment. Let's take that. Absolutely. You get used to it. Okay. I can see that. Yeah, the games could go without. I know there are games. I agree with you. I agree with you. And that's my point is not to try to talk people into doing things that they don't want to do. That's not my point. My point is if I would like to get into another relationship at some point in my life. I don't have to, but I'd like to at another point in my life. When that is, if that's 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, whatever. It is what it is. I can't make that happen. It's going to either happen or it's not going to happen. But I would like it. I'm not afraid of it. If it happens, great. And it might happen, and I might date somebody for 2 months, and it might end. And I'll have to get over that. And it might work out for a year, and then it might end, and I'll have to get over that. Or it might be the person that I marry and I stay together with for the rest of my life. And that would be great. I can't predict that. I can't predict that. But I am not going to be dissuaded by people's niceness and say, well, there's got to be another shoe to drop. There's got to be something wrong with them to be that nice. Anybody who knows me, and I'm not looking for testimonials because I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I really don't. But what you see is what you get. Anybody who's known me through college and known me as a kid and know me, I'm a soft-hearted, kind person. Do I have a mean streak in me? I do. I do. If you hurt my kids, I'm gonna mow you down. I mean, that's just part of who I am. Now, when I say hurt my kids, I don't mean emotionally. I mean, if somebody physically was hurting my children, that, yeah, you're going to see a mean streak in me. You're going to see me go off the rails. But other than that, I am exactly what I project myself to be. And I am telling you right now, as positive as I am in the classroom and on this show, and when I talk to people and I put positive stuff on the internet all the time, I tell you there are times when I'm not feeling it. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that I'm a fraud. That doesn't mean I'm a fake. It just means I'm at that time I'm not feeling it. But I pick myself up and feel it later. So perfection is not the goal. It's trying to get to where you feel comfortable as much as you can and feel comfortable in your own skin. That's all. So here we are. We're at the 40-minute mark. We're just going to do the commercial real fast on the hockey game. We'll come back and the show.
Hey everybody, I just want to tell you how thankful I am that you came out tonight and helped us out on a very special evening. Crohn's and colitis are terrible diseases and they affect a lot of people, not only in the Delaware Valley, but all over the world. And hopefully we can find a cure someday.
Nolan here with you at the Checkmates versus the Flyers alumni. We had a great time this afternoon. Game was close, and we're all here for Checkmates Charities, which is the real reason that everybody's here, not only the players, but all the fans that were here. It was a great day, and we're really happy to be here.
It was fun to be out here at Northeast Skate Zone because the Checos were a pretty good team, and so we had a lot of fun with the charity. And it was good because they took it easy on us old guys. So we had a good time. So anytime you can do something for charity, and I know a couple guys on the other team, and just to be on the rink, we all go have fun.
Good times go. I'm either gone in an instant or here to the bitter end. I never know what I got.
I want to thank my family for all that they did to help me get through this, and there's a lot of planning that gets done. It has to get done. I want to thank Nick's Roast Beef and Cotman Avenue for all they've done. Dr. Prieto for saving my life and finding the disease and treating me for so long. And the Flyers organization for all they do to help us raise money every year. So thank you everybody, I appreciate it.
I'll see you when I fall asleep. Baby, I'm ready to go. Baby, I'm ready to go. Baby, I'm ready to go.
All right, everybody. It's August 23rd, 2025. Mark Recchi, Brian Prop with a bunch of great hockey players. And I got some special surprises that I haven't even talked about. Our website is www.checkmatescharity.com. Here is a list of the players that are going to be there, and some of the celebrities that are going to be there. Joe Conklin is going to be there to do a skit. Rolf Penershka, Lauren Hart. So we're gonna have a good night, and it's just gonna be a lot of fun, and we're gonna raise money for a good cause to help people with Crohn's, colitis, and also those with an ostomy. So let's fill that rink with 1,000 people, and let's fill that restaurant with 750 people, and we'll have a real good night. So I want to thank you. Reach out, and this is my business. This is just for you, training and consulting. So if you need any computer training, soft skills training, I've gotten into helping people get jobs training using their own training. So if you're a trainer yourself and you need to get placed, I'm starting to do that kind of work now too. So that's something that is a new thing for me. So please join us. I'm on LinkedIn. You can find me there. My number is 610-324-5545. Don't ask me to do crypto. But no, if you're serious and you want to talk to me and you want to talk business, I'd be happy to do it. I will vet you. So just know it's not going to be an easy thing, but I'm happy to help as many people as I can. All right. So be nice and don't be so suspicious of everybody. Okay. And enjoy your week. I'll see you next week.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Steve Klein Art at steveklein.art.
My name is Steve Klein, born Manchester, England, 1953. My quest in my lifetime is to create artwork from my soul and the deepness within my wildest dreams and fantasies. In 2012, my heart stopped when I was given too much anesthetic for a minor knee operation, and this near-death experience took me to another multidimensional world, an out-of-body experience, and I was given the gift of being blessed by an overwhelming, burning passion to become, for the very first time in my life, an artist with an eternal, passionate desire to bring my art, which I've named multidimensional, subliminal, freeform art, to the world, as only 3% recover from what I experienced. And now in my golden years want to release my cosmic, vital energy through my art to allow people to be a part of my cosmic dance.
To learn more, email roccogoodwine@gmail.com. For VIP pricing, mention USA Global TV and Radio.
Ever dreamed of hosting your own TV show, sharing your story with a global audience? Now's your chance to shine. At USA Global TV and Radio, we make it easy for you to create, host, and broadcast your very own TV show. Whether you're a storyteller, entrepreneur, or industry expert, we help you bring your vision to life. With our exclusive interview, live streaming, and podcasting training, you'll gain the skills and confidence to captivate your audience. Our global platform ensures your voice is heard worldwide. Join our community of creators who are already making an impact, one show at a time. Step into the spotlight. Host your own TV show on USA Global TV and Radio. Book your discovery call today at usaglobaltv.com. Copyright 2025 USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit usaglobaltv.com. Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honored to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, We're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.